Mm-hmm. Okay.
We're live? Hey, that was quick. Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, April 13th, 2 days from tax day, and we just got our taxes done. We don't like to be in a hurry on that kind of thing. Anyway, naturally, we had them done several days ago, in plenty of time. Yeah. Anyway, we won't talk about that, but hope you guys are doing well. We had a great day, a lot of cool stuff, including some visitors that you guys will find out about soon. And it was fun. Well, some of you on Facebook already know. Carmen and Sam Page stopped by, and we just had a great time with them. I think they're the Ken and Barbie of our community. Just a terrific couple. Just so much fun. Just great people. We had a blast hanging out with them and kind of learning more about them. And maybe, hopefully next week we'll get up there and have some dinner with them in Vegas before they take off. Hopefully that will work out. I hope so. Anyway, thank you, Carmen. Thank you so much for coming by and bringing Sam. We just had so much fun with you guys. Sorry it couldn't be longer. But anyway, so I know you guys are going to have a great time up at Zion. I think you're going to Zion. Yeah, Zion, and St. George is just amazing. Anyway, that's such a cool area.
Way too kind. Had a blast.
Well, good. We're glad you came and visited with us. So let's see. Yeah, we've got, gosh, so much going on. I'm working on a brand new project right now. You guys will hear about maybe next week, maybe the week after. I'm not sure yet, but I'm really excited about it. And let's see, what else? Oh yeah, hopefully the weather will break. We would be outside normally, but the wind is blowing like crazy. Ask Carmen, she knows. But the wind is blowing like crazy here still. So otherwise we'd be out on the front porch, but that didn't work out, so we're in here.
And that's because all of our chairs are laying down.
Yeah, they're all blown over, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to try and get started on Vicky's table again next week, hopefully, if things work out weather-wise. And our schedule is just really crazy lately. So anyway, I got a couple great questions I want to go over tonight. And if you guys have questions in the interim as it goes along, as always, let us know, and Vicky will hopefully let me know.
Winnie's birthday's today, her 3rd birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, Winnie. That's great.
Happy birthday, Winnie.
So,
Eric, have you ever carved honey locust?
Honey locust? God, that sounds really familiar.
I don't know what it is. There's Tessa, she carved it.
That sounds really familiar, but I don't recall for sure. For whatever reason, it doesn't bring up any specifics. How was it, Tessa?
Charlie says, I'll help move it in. You're going to have to help, Charlie. That thing's heavy.
Oh, the table? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll have a crane to move that thing. We'll have a forklift up and going again. All right, so Charlie, I sent you an email. You requested a picture of that red horse logo on the other day's Facebook, and I sent you an email with it. Rigoberto. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Anyway, so if you didn't get it, Charlie, let me know. But I'm pretty sure I sent it to you.
Tessa said it was very hard and very heavy.
Yeah, locust is, I knew.
Hi,
just
Michael.
Regular locust, I think I've carved that, and I remember it being very dense and very heavy.
Charlie said, I got the picture. One of the boys is actually serving right now, is in that unit.
Oh, that's cool. Good. Okay.
One of his boys. One of my boys.
One of his boys. Wow. Amazing. Okay, so let's get to the questions. The first question I had was from Wes. And Wes says, what should I purchase first, a jointer or a planer? And what brand do you recommend? So here's the thing. So I answered him back, and I have kind of mixed feelings on that. first of all, it depends on what you're going to do with it. If you're just going to be making signs and you don't do other woodworking projects, then probably the planer would be the way to go. If you have a decent table saw. If you've got a decent table saw, then you could probably make that work. And I'm thinking in the area of joining boards together. I really like having both, because I do a lot of laminating boards together when I can't find big slabs to do the big special signs that I'm doing. So I really like to have both. But if I had to pick one over the other, it would probably be the planer. However, if you're doing a lot of other projects where you're going to be building chairs, or love seats, or something where you need a good flat edge, a joiner can really come in handy. And I've just recently learned how to use a joiner and a planer in conjunction with making your boards flat and good edge. I did a really good video on that turned out really well. Again, if you've got a good table saw, or if you have a track saw, more and more people are getting those track saws, and a good track saw will give you a good, perfect 90-degree edge. I know the Festool definitely will, but that's like top of the line. But even the oh gosh, the people that the Craig people, they make a type of track saw that really cuts a nice, perfect 90-degree edge that allows you a good seam to put those boards together. So again, if I had my druthers, it'd probably be a planer, so I could get those boards all down to the same thickness, and then use some other device. If you don't have a joiner, use some other device like a really good table saw or a track saw to give you a nice edge to be able to put those boards together. So that's kind of what I recommended to Wes. So, but again, that is if you're not doing other projects, if you're just doing signs like I do. I don't really use, I don't really do other stuff. So, any questions on that?
No, not on that.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, Scott had a question. Hold on, I gotta go back and find it.
Okay, Scott Christian?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll find it. He said, "Have you? I carved the African redwood. It's kind of hard to carve." That was
African redwood. I've never even heard of it. But everything
Have you carved African rosewood?
Oh, African rosewood.
Rosewood.
Okay, yeah.
What did I say? Redwood?
You said
Sorry,
redwood, and I was
rosewood.
like, I didn't even, never even heard of that. Rosewood, yeah, African rosewood. I've seen it. I've held it in my hand, but I don't believe I've ever carved it. But based on what I saw, man, that stuff is super dense, really dense, like a mahogany, like a, Paduke or a Babinga, or
Babinga?
See, I know my.
Randy Noble said, "I got a joiner but never used it. Used my table saw." So.
Well, there you go. If you've got a really good table saw, it will do the job for you. So, again, I like using the planer and the table saw and the joiner together. But I don't. My table saw is really not that good. I don't really have a good table saw. It's just a kind of a construction site table saw. It's not really true. It's not really that square. So that's why I use the joiner a lot more. So, but yeah, African rosewood's really tough, Charlie. Or not Charlie, Scott. It looks really hard to carve.
Nick Ward said, "Hey Eric, I ended up reapplying stain after paint, but it came out good."
Good. Glad to hear it, Nick. It was nice talking with you on the phone the other day. I'm glad that worked out. Looking forward to seeing some pictures.
Wait,
Okay.
Hold on. Hi, Jason. Nick, Patrick Stiltner said, "Would a planer be useful in making signs?"
Yeah, I mean, I went for a long time without a planer, but a planer sure does make it nice.
Oops.
I only got my first planer about, I don't know, probably 6-7 years ago. But since I got it, man, it's handy to have. Of course, it's only a 12-inch planer. I wish I had a bigger one, a 16-inch or something, which would be
one
nice.
Of those big things like
Oh,
Andrew
yeah.
has.
Yeah, for the flattening slabs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a planer really does come in handy. That's Pat. Did you say Patrick?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was Patrick.
Yeah, that really does come in handy. But I went for a long time without using a planer. Just everything was done with a sander. But a planer really does come in handy. My planer. Oh, I forgot to show the pictures. Here's the planer that I have. Just a DeWalt. I guess they call them like a lunchbox planer. Got it down at Lowe's. I don't know, it's 300, 350, I think. Again, I've had it for like 6-7 years. It's super dependable. Vicky's probably used it as much as I have with her stuff. But really good planer. I highly recommend it. I haven't had any issues with it at all. My jointer is a little rigid, 6-inch jointer. This one we actually bought like... I think we bought it off of Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or something, and both of them are really reliable. I haven't had any issues with either one of them, so both very good, very good. Not top of the line brands, but they sure work good enough for us.
Carmen said Johnny on the spot with that picture.
Yeah, I had them. I printed them out, so. But wow, might as well show them.
What about the thickness belt sander versus the planer? That's
Who's that?
Nick.
Nick. You know what? A thickness belt sander, or what they used to call an abrasive planer. It's like a drum. If it's what I'm thinking that you're talking about. In fact, Dad bought one a long time ago. It's a 16-inch, I think, and it's a jet, and it's literally a drum. And we have used that, although we don't use it very much. I didn't find it, I don't know, I guess I just didn't get used to it, but Dad used it quite a bit for a while, but not on signs, on some other projects that he was doing. But if you were contemplating using a planer to take off the paint, to take off the black, if you were going to use a planer, that's the kind to use. And still, I don't like the fact that it's, if your board's not perfectly flat, it won't take it off evenly. So,
We have one question.
Yeah.
First of all, Jason Harrison said he's driving back from Scotland. He's listening. He can't watch. Watch the road, Jason.
Hey, Jason. Drive careful, buddy.
Tessa says, what does a joiner do?
Okay, so a joiner, it's like an upside down jointer planer. It's not
a stupid question, Tessa.
No, that's not a stupid question at all.
Same thing. Yeah, Michael Higgins asked the same thing. What's the purpose of using a planer?
Yeah, so the purpose of using a jointer for me is the fact that this and the deck, I'm going to call that the deck, there's another name for it, and this are at a perfect 90 degree. So you can use this to get really good flat joints and a perfect 90. So when you take 2-inch material or even 1-inch material and you want to join them together or laminate them together, this will give you a perfect 90 to do that. Now there's other reasons to use a jointer, but that's what I use it for, to laminate big boards together.
Okay, so now Michael says, what is the purpose of a planer?
Okay, so the planer will take, if you use the jointer and the planer in conjunction, you will get a flat edge on a board. I don't have a board here, but it will give you a flat edge. So you can use them in conjunction, or you can use a table saw as well to get a flat, to bring your thickness down. And that's why they call it a thickness planer. For instance, if I'm putting two boards together, I want them to be the same thickness. So if I have to run them through the jointer and then I put them through the planer, I can make sure they're two pieces that are the same. I was doing that actually this morning. I had a piece of a cutoff that I had it's a big slab that I'm making a sign out of, and you guys, if you're on Instagram, or maybe it even showed up on Facebook, I was running my router sled and I was flattening it out. Well, I had a cutoff on that before I run it through the router sled, but I needed an extra piece, and so I needed to run it through my thickness planer to get it down to the same thickness that my big slab was that I ran through my router sled. So it literally just takes the thickness down and it will flatten it out. So I had a piece that had kind of a little bit of a bow to it, and I was able to get it pretty flat, not perfectly flat, but pretty flat on both sides with my thickness planer. So that's what the planer will allow you to do.
Charlie says, so aside from routers and bits, what would you say is the next important tool in the shine shop for someone on a budget?
Next to routers and bits, you've got to have a sander. A sander is second only to the router. Bits, I don't think of that as being a tool, although they are tools, but I don't think of that as being a plug-in electric tool. Bits kind of go with the
Jeff
routers.
Dale says a dog.
A dog. Yeah, a shop dog, a shop foreman like Frank's. But yeah, after a router, you got to have a sander. You just do. You have to have a sander. That would be my second choice. And then beyond that, you got to have a saw. You got to have a way to cut your boards.
So Carmen says the money you save on wood pays for it. So
In regards to...
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can't tell you the show videos.
Some good questions.
Randy Noble says shop kitty. I wish. I would love to have a shop cat.
Good questions tonight. This is good. I love this interaction in these
and
live
a coffee
questions.
pot.
And a coffee pot. Yeah. Yeah, and a broom.
Oh, she's talking about the planer with pickets. Using the planer on the...
Oh, yeah. You can use a planer with the pickets.
She says she
yeah.
does.
The trick is that if the pickets are... it depends on how thick the pickets are. The pickets we get out here, the cedar pickets, they've just gotten so thin, I don't really use a planer with them because it takes off so much material. So I like using a sander because I can control a little bit more how much roughness to take off. Whereas with the planer, sometimes it takes off a bunch.
Not tool related, but what video editor software do you use, Jeff?
I just use Movie Maker Live. It's a free software that we've been using since the beginning, honestly.
Had a hard time finding it when you got your new computer.
Yeah, because then they had the new version of it, and I didn't know really how to use it. It was kind of difficult to figure out, so I had to go back and find the original version.
Tessa said, and Miss Vicky's phone number for next thing you need for your shop. Only if you're doing resin, Tessa.
Yeah. But what was the question before? I can't remember.
Gosh, I'm sorry. Oh, the planing the pickets.
Yeah, planing the pickets. Yeah, Carmen was saying that. Yeah, I just the pickets, they almost always have a little bit of a cup to them, and so when you run them out of into a planer, it will a lot of times it will just take the top, the crown, or the edges and still leave a lot of it rough. So that's the reason I don't use a planer with the pickets, because my pickets are so thin. Now, if the pickets were thicker, then you could get by with it and take a little bit off.
Okay.
Okay, so we've still got another question. Yeah. Okay. One more question. Yeah, that one just went long because there was a lot of questions.
Other questions.
Yeah.
So you answered questions.
I did. I answered questions, and
Or
all right,
artsy
we'll save this other question for Thursday.
Is there a sealer that you use under Spar urethane for really dry wood like cedar for outdoors?
A sealer.
That's Brian Rankin. He said, is there a sealer that you use under Spar urethane for really dry... Sorry, it keeps popping up.
Yeah.
For really dry wood like cedar for outdoors?
Well, if you mean a sealer in the fact that after the sign is already done, no, I just put extra coats of Spar urethane. If you're talking about a sealer on the board of a really dry board and you want to make sure that it stays dry until you get to make a sign out of it, then you can use either sanding sealer like I've showed a lot of times, or you can use just that clear Rust-Oleum clear, just to throw a clear on it to keep it from cupping and warping and that kind of stuff. So it depends on you know, the context there, whether the sign is already done or not. So, okay. So keep those questions coming, and in the meantime, I'll do some sign carvings of the day. First sign from Rick Rogers. So I was pretty impressed with the very first sign, Rick. Did really good. I wish the picture was a little bit lighter. I don't think it really does it justice, but Ashley did really well, Rick, for your very first sign. Congratulations, man. I like it. Good job. This one is spectacular. Bob Cowan. 2 foot by 5 foot for a duck club.
Wow.
Select pine. Used the Halcyon finish. 33 dowel-filled shotgun shells. I don't know if you can tell, but right along there, there's shotgun shells where they can hang their dead ducks on them.
Yeah.
Anyway, just spectacular. Absolutely love it, Bob. I think that will bring you a lot of business. Ryan did something like that for a duck club, and it worked out really, really well. So, terrific job, buddy. Very nice. Beautiful
Jessica
work.
said Miss Vicky's good for moral support when you're routing.
Yes, she is. I should know.
You should know.
I should
40
know.
years, you should
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, how cute.
Steve Amos, this is poplar with one shot paint. Very cool. I love it. Love the color.
Is that the same one that made me?
Huh?
Is he the same one?
No, no.
It's
Anyway,
like the same one. Oh, no,
it kind of looks a little bit like the one that John made you.
Yeah.
The Easter sign John made you.
I was thinking
Yeah.
the bunny was the same, but I'm looking at it. It's still up on my
Yeah.
table.
We still have that Easter sign
Yeah.
over sitting on the
But it's
table.
different.
Anyway, great job, Steve. Beautiful work, buddy. I love it.
Nick Ward says, anybody have recommendations for a clear with UV protection? I have Helmsman, but I don't always like the yellowing.
Yeah, Halcyon. I was just talking about Halcyon, and that's what Bob used here. I've used it a couple times. I thin it
Hold
with.
it down. No, I'm sorry. Just hold it down. You had it too high.
Oh, yeah, Halcyon. That's what Bob used on this. Frank uses Halcyon. A lot of the guys are using Halcyon, made by Total Boat. It's an exterior finish and it's clear. I've used it a couple times. I found spraying it with a critter that I needed to thin it 20%. That's just the way I used it. I don't know about the other guys, but Halcyon's supposed to be top-notch product.
Justin says, is Ryan still doing much sign carving? No, he's not.
No, not these days. He's so busy with his personal defense and his firearm training and rebuilding tractors that he's got 2 businesses he's running right now, and he just hasn't been carving signs for a while. In fact, he got a big collaboration that he passed over to me.
Charlie said, yeah, I have to admit, it's pretty cool. They put aside their time all the time to answer people's questions and solve their problems.
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Was he talking about us?
I hope so. Otherwise, you're patting yourself on the
Yeah.
back.
Oops.
Yeah.
I'll take that
that's
back.
nice. Look at that.
Yeah. Don Spicer.
Dang.
So this is Bull Jordan's file that he posted on the Minions page. Beautiful work, Don. Yeah, just gorgeous. I know several people carved that. Beautiful. And look at the last one. Look at that.
Look at
Carmen's.
that. Carmen, can you hold it down just
So this is Carmen's mom, and Carmen made this. In fact, she talked about it today. Made this, and I think they just came out good. It looks like they might be pointing the wrong direction, but I don't know. That may be just a guess on my
Charlie
part.
said yes, talking about you both. That's funny. Did she talk about that on
She did. Yeah, that's what she was talking about. That she carved them on the wrong side and they're pointing the wrong direction. Anyway, Carmen, you did a great job on this. You're doing great work, darling. Just proud of you.
She said, LOL, it's fair. I think it's cute.
Yeah,
I bet
very
your
cute.
mom loved it no matter what.
I bet she did love it.
By the way, you look like your mom.
Yeah, they do. Okay, that is it, guys.
Justin says, oh, hold on. Wanted to wish everyone well. I have to jump off and get my daughter to bed. Thanks, guys, and great seeing everyone here. Great sign carvers tonight. Okay.
And who was that?
Justin, he's good.
Oh, Justin. Good to see you, Justin. So, guys, keep those questions coming in. I love it when you guys ask questions on the fly like that. It absolutely, I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. So just keep those questions coming. I will keep sending emails. I'll keep answering everything that I can. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know. Because I don't try and fake anything. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know.
Randy Noble says good live tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate that. All right, boys and girls, thanks so much. We will see you guys. There'll be a video tomorrow, and then Thursday night we'll be on. There'll be a video on Thursday night, Thursday morning as well. A new project video or informational video, really. And then we'll be on here again Thursday live.
Charlie says he doesn't say I don't know very often.
Yeah, that's true. I don't. Fortunately, you guys keep things within my wheelhouse, so I don't have to say I know very often. But there's a lot I don't know, but I know a little bit about this subject. So anyway, guys, thanks so much. We love you for watching and for all the support. Again, we don't say it often enough. You guys support us so well and so much. We're so blessed and just happy to have you as part of the family. We love you all, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.